Hi everyone, and welcome back to Rogue Trader Void Shadows. We've just finished Post-Kiava Gamma. And I just remembered we got some new cannons. Long range 3 shots at 21, mid range 3 shots at 24, long range 3 shots at 21. I think I'll swap them out. What does that mean? Those. Wonder what that means. Is that the ones that can do the flak? Because that's got 3 things in the thing as well. That's 3 at 24, 3 at 21. Fort 26. What? Okay. Anyway, moving on. I do have... That's Janice. Oh yeah, that's the pirate station. Well, let's go here. Lord Captain, your plan was a success. Our provocation against Nemesite and the killing of the traitor Adelbart has brought out all the rest of them. My forces have captured a number of suspicious individuals and beaten the truth out of them. That scum Nemesite wishes to avenge his mentor's death and plans to raid the ceremony of the officer's anointment. Since the impious Adelbart has turned out to be an apostate, it is the new confessor's duty to ensure that the officers retake their oaths to the God Emperor. Traditionally, the ceremony is attended by the officers' families. It is they who are the target of the mutineer. He wishes to slaughter all the ship's elite in one fell swoop. I've ordered a trap to be set for Nemesite. Would you like to be personally involved in the operation? What kind of trap? We will replace the civilians with enforcers and their relatives of the appropriate age, dress them all in their formal clothes, and hide their weapons underneath. When Nemesite tries to strike, we find only cruel disappointment. For the last time in his worthless life. Wait, the appropriate age? Are there going to be elderly and youths present? It is necessary for the sake of secrecy. Let me assure you, all my people will gladly risk their families for the good of the Von Valance's dynasty, without fear or hesitation. I will attend the ceremony. You hear a distant burst of interference followed by Cabela joining the channel. Domin Jellybobs. The whispers of death are uttering the name of Nemesite ever more loudly. I must meet the enemy face to face. Very well, we'll capture him together. So be it. Cabela's voice is quiet, but somehow even more grim and ominous than usual. I've got to level her up as well. Actually, I've got to turn the light on because it's only like 2 in the afternoon, but it's bloody dark. Get rid of you, Bing Jai. Okay, let's do that. Scene. What was that kind of slippy? Was it dog shit? Okay, I'm going to pause here, fix it so I can actually see stuff. Back in a sec. Okay. The rows of disguised enforcers are listening to the confessor's words in silence. All around you are Sarabak's chosen people, each dressed as a member of the officers' families. Close by, a kindly-looking old woman is fumbling with a starched handkerchief. Catching your eye, she smiles with a mouth that's missing half its teeth, then whispers, "Everything's going as planned, your lordship." Look at the participants in the ceremony. The facade is holding, with everyone playing their role perfectly. The Master at Arms must have instructed them thoroughly and shown them how best to avoid or how to conceal the weapons. All of them are wearing the best, and even you cannot tell where they are hiding their armaments. Who might you be, Madam Matriarch? Belinda Travgold. Belinda Travgold, Lord Captain, transferred from the enforcers with the rank of Senior Lieutenant to the staff of your Lordship's quarters on account of my age and declining health. But as you can see, there's no such thing as a former enforcer. A friendly smile stretches across her bloodless lips. So why would Sarabak entrust my safety to so-and-so advanced in years? I guess the Master at Arms remembers how Belinda used to be the best shot among the enforcers back in the day, and knows that my eye and hand have not diminished over the years. I spent 40 years on duty, and to this day I can tell if a man is carrying contraband in his pocket, just by the way he's walking. I'm grateful to Mistress Sarabak for the honour. I don't want to die in my bed. Let me fall in battle, defending the Lord Captain and crushing traitors. Belinda gives an imperious yet absent-minded nod and dabs her eyes with a handkerchief. Do you believe Nemesite will fall for the ruse? Judging by the way that serf in the back row keeps glancing around, and Nemesite has swallowed the bait just like the void rat he is. The porridge will hit the fan any moment now. A most benign smile crosses her face. The ceremony comes to an end. The vows are given and the forehead of every officer is graced with a touch of the confessor. Now comes the moment for the closing prayer. Confessor Tercitius, and may the God Emperor protect us. A loud and menacing voice booms through the hall, cutting short the sacred words, but not today. Yep. Gene stealers. Okay, there's 13 of them. Where are we? Kelamorph, 550 health. Decent dodge, decent toughness. Promise of Freedom. Rate of fire 4. Range 6. Afflicts fatigue. Promise of Retribution. Rate of fire 3. Does direct damage. That'll be stack of Fatigued. And because it's got 3 arms, destined revolver. Don't know anything about any of these abilities, but caught ambush. Right. Let's have a look. All the labourers are enemies. And the Kelamorph up there. So it's like people on our left are our people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. But it's 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Unless there's some hidden beneath the loot markers. So let's get up here then. Jai can go there. Cabela. Pascal. Jelly Bobs. No, I can't go that far. How about Cassia? And Cassia can go there. Deer can go there. I can't reach that far. Ugh. This is not ideal. I didn't level up Cabela either. I didn't have any chance. Can't do it now because we're in battle. Free turn for everybody. Okay. Let's get this free buffs out.
On it.
One on you. Okay. Dodge and parry, Cabela.
Will do.
Do that on Cassia.
But of course.
Everybody can have dodge.
Was that you? Or
What's that? Dodge chance cannot be less than 15%. Add that to Cabela as well. Strength and toughness.
will do.
There we go. And the first one to attack is the Calamorph. So blind them.
On it.
Okay, yeah, Sidera's free turn. My free turn. Oh, Cassie can get that half. I can probably take out this half. Of that.
It's as good as done. I'll see to it personally.
Jai, who needs air authority most? Nobody really. Give it to Cassia though.
For this.
Cabela can do that.
As honor ordains.
And she can do 3 shots. There, go on you. It's only 58% chance. Because she's really, really crap at ballistic skill. And yeah.
As the tenants demand.
Me? If you insist, Lord Captain.
Devastating. Go to buffing. And buff Idera. Then swap back to damage. That'll do. Pascal, backline. Cassia. Let's debuff you.
Isn't this a job for the serfs?
Okay, that's good. Armor's down. Dodge is down. Okay. Where did I go? Up and there, okay.
Me? If you insist, Lord Captain. I prefer painted black.
They're all on fire. Most of them are gonna die. Got 2 left. I could buff myself. Yeah. Let's do that. Am I buffing one? Yeah. Buff. Jelly Bobs. Swap back to damage. And they're there.
I'm a navigator, not a servitor. As duty demands.
We have lots of movement, so I can get you out of the way, I guess.
Cover me.
So you don't blow up and hit you on people. Now, dodge on me.
But of course.
Do that on Jai.
Anything else?
Extra fellowship buffs. On me as well.
Will do.
Enforcer officer, Cabela, enforcer officer. Labourers down there. More dodge for everybody. And blind him.
Anything else?
Side bank in 6. Okay. Might as well do that to you. Well, Cassius debuff's done 120 damage. 130 damage. Now see if this way. Does it work on Dira? Let's see if it works on you. Or me. Yeah, that works. Right. Dira gets more buffs. Pascal. Can have that. Do you have presence on yourself? Nope. What's Cabela on? Foreboding plus 16. It's now plus 30.
On it.
It's actually crit damage for her. Side ranking 7. So I put another stack of that on you. It's on to 9. And do that on you. Why not? And dodge. Why not?
But of course.
No, you knocked yourself out. That's fine. Right. Everyone. Have some fire. And burn. 2 arms, faithful souls. The tyranny. What? Oh, right. Grab, grab. Oh, everyone's dead. And you're in half. 220 damage. And I've not even done anything yet. He's on fire now. Can run down here.
Don't let your guard down.
Put you on fire.
High momentum.
Can I hit both? Yeah. That was a lot of damage.
On it.
Do that again. 317 damage there. He's down to 3.
It's as good as done. Twice before crossing me. I refuse.
Damn it. No then. Let's do that again then.
I'll make it happen. Your end was inevitable.
It's just out of range now. Got nothing to do, so buff. Cabela.
If not me.
Actually, does this do anything? That's my next successful attack. Okay. I hit all my people, not worth it. Okay.
Frighten me.
It's cast you for a tiny bit of damage. It's on 3 health. Let's put that up there. No, my turn. Because that was the heroic action.
I'm not the enemy.
Nemesite is crouching on the ground, clutching at a bleeding wound onto his ribs. His tortured body is still strong, and everything in his posture expresses a will to fight on. The red scarf no longer covers his face. The vigilante grins at you with bloody teeth. Weak. I have yet to be impressed. The white familiar eyes of the flute player from the lower decks glint with boldness. A humble swindler who used to play tricks on fools with the help of his trained rat, now nods at you mockingly. I waited for this meeting, Lord Captain. No longer covered by broken goggles, the hairless skull is bulging with massive growths. However, the mutant nature of your enemy is just as quickly betrayed by even more unsettling feature. A third arm grown out of his torso. You watch as its fingers deftly empty the drum of a stub revolver and load it with fresh rounds. I know you. You're the fortune peddler from the freight line who entertained the rabble with games and music. Not only them, as you can see, also sang glorious songs about the cruelty of the officers, the callousness of the Lord Captain, and the bravery of the selfless Nemesite. Nobody ever notices the pathetic little flute player who always carries a few ration cards for bribing officers, do they? Hiding in the shadows of your rotting kingdom was far too easy. You lost. Your battle for the ship's freedom is at an end. Do you have any last words before you die? Nemesite laughs derisively. Freedom? I care nothing for freedom, or for the throngs willing to offer their decks up to your yoke. I will not die for these wretches, but I will gladly pay for your demise with my life. Both you and your judges come from the same rotten root. That is why you are easy to fool. Nemesite and his march against authority are just a fancy story to tell the rabble. A convenient tool for recruiting the wronged and the dispossessed. In truth, all of you must die to make way for those who are truly worthy, more pure, more pious, more courageous than any of you ever were. Was the man who raised you just as foolish and likely to believe in the fairy story? Did you use him too? No. Adabart believed in what I believe. He was just as willing to sacrifice himself as I am. You disgusted him. I am proud that he was able to deal such a blow against your paltry authority. %. 35%. Couldn't care less about your drivel. Same here. Prepare to fight. You were the last Nemesite this ship ever sees. I'll make sure of it. Oh, I've got an itchy nose. Aren't you a little overconfident? Nemesite cast a glance at the stub revolver in his hand, then back at you. You're right in front of me. My gun is loaded. I believe this tune is not quite finished yet. Feels like time has become viscous and slowing you down. You see the bloody hand of Nemesite raise the weapon, and your body reacts of its own accord. There's no time to deliberate. You summon your gift, concentrate your psychic power at your fingertips. Raise a hand in Nemesite's direction. The air goes frigid, but the rebel is already aiming his gun at you. Malevolent grin spreads over his face. Black muzzle of the stub revolver stares at you, coating of frost, forming along the barrel, and the road around you narrows to a thin line. Kibele emerges from nearby like a shadow, blade gleaming menacingly in her hand. She hissed softly, ready to pounce. It is your thread that will break today, and no other. Save your message for your false god when you meet him, servant of death. I am glad. I get to take you both down at once. Second gun is now pointing at Kibele. I vow that your murderous sect will fall along with the Lord Captain. 30. 0, 5. 0. 0. That's my best one. Exchange glances with Kibele. Kibele's gaze is fixed on Nemesite. She does not notice you look at her. You may outnumber the enemy, but each of you must face the rebel alone. 5%. 0%. 0%. Attack. Enough talk, die. Time stops for a moment, and then, as if tossed by a blast wave, the events fly forward like murderous shrapnel. 90. Or 20. Okay, why does I not have Pascal there? Unleash the energies of the Imperium. Cascade of purple sparks erupts from your fingers as your world takes shape and power in this world. Nemesite's eyes fill with rage and fear. Hastily pulls the trigger, blinded by panic. Kibele takes a deep breath and wipes the blood off her blade. The living legend's head lies severed at her feet. Kibele, are you alright? Did not harm me. Kibele looks at Nemesite's body with an incomprehensible expression. But he tried. Such was his idea. He remained committed to it until his last breath. His was a good death. Look at the corpse. The decapitated body lies motionless on the deck. The cut at the neck stares back at you from the grotesquely distorted ridge of the spine. The power of the folk myth fades into the air like smoke billowing from the muzzle of his stub revolver. Thus ends the struggle of Nemesite now. It's coming more. Kibele picks up the severed head from the deck and gazes into it, extinguished eyes, with strange wistfulness. The struggle is not people. The struggle is ideas. The people are merely their vessels, the carriers of the struggle. I need to reflect on his death, Dublin, and to stand before the Undying One, and hear his blessed whisper. We can discuss what happened after. Everyone leveled up again. Wow. What's that crackling noise? It's coming from this angle. Where is it? Somewhere up here. But not down here. Right, let's do some looting. Needle rifles. Ooh. They might be useful. Doubt it, but they might be. No, one of the enforcers got killed. Who killed all those? Wasn't me, was it? What's the Calamorph have on it? Those pistols. Efficient armored body glove. And relic of unknown saints. When the wearer has less than 50% wounds, every second attack against them is automatically dodged. This effect lasts for up to 2 rounds. Meh. Meh.
I always have a backup plan.
Did everybody die? No, I mean, these enforcers are fine.
Ready as always.
Nemesis has fallen. All hail the Lord Captain. Yes, all hail me. Professor Tertius is down here somewhere. Yeah, he's hiding. The aberration dared violate the sacred ceremony as obliterated, and was obliterated. Retribution has been served. There. Voice, speaking, walk.
I always keep my options open.
Talk, words. Anyway, I'm going to level everybody up. And I'll be back in a sec. Because that's going to annoy me, that noise, until I do. Okay. Level 32 was weapon skill. And demolition, because I'm sick and tired of Heinrich's arsing it up. Idea. Perception and awareness. Cassia. Awareness. Perception. Pascal. Logic. Ballistic skill. Cabela had 2 levels. Bloody mess. Anytime a Voidborn character scores a critical hit, 10% chance to double the damage. It's 1 in 10. And killing spree. Whenever you hit an opening, the assassin's damage is increased by 3%, which is the agility bonus divided by 2, until the end of combat. Stacking. So, buffed up agility would be over 100, so that would be +5 +6. And stacks. And athletics. And Jai, we took agility and law Imperium. Just because she's a skill monkey. Excuse me. That reminds me.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
We have Heinrichs to talk to about Kiava Gamma as well, don't we? Is that the end of Nemesite? Or, like we suggest, I'm thinking, there's been many before. Is it just one a long line? More to come. Okay, let's talk to Heinrichs.
To what do I owe this visit?
Are you satisfied with the results of your mission on Kiava Gamma?
More than. The data we retrieved is already in the hands of the Inquisition, in the custody of those who can extract the secrets of the future from the claws of chaos. The sacrifices made to the Cogitator will not have been for nothing. We dealt a blow not only to the cultists, but to the archenemy itself. I cannot help but be pleased.
That's what you think. Mwahaha.
However, there is something I must tell you. Back there at the Cogitator, my decision to let it complete its operation allowed me to... I can't even find words, to perceive something of what is to come. You deserve to know this. The cult is threatening the worlds within your protectorate, after all. I could choose to think of it as an echo of the past or a specter of the future, but that's not it. Warp sorcery joins stretches of time together, violating the accepted sequence and flow of events. I heard a resonance of the person behind the cult. I faced demons more than once before, but this? I couldn't have imagined such a concentration of evil and corruption. I am convinced that one of the greater demons is behind the cult of the Final Dawn. Beware the day when that demon finds a way to appear in this world.
I'm not going to do this, but 35% chance might do. Touching on the cogitator did something to you. I want to know what.
I touched the corruption of the archenemy. Did you honestly think the experience could somehow be a pleasant one? Psykers, even sanctioned ones, even those who have performed all the rituals, passed all the initiations, we are all gateways to forces hostile to humanity. I survived a difficult battle on Kiava Gamma, one that was invisible to others and potentially fatal for myself.
What are you going to do next?
My visit to Kiava Gamma did not produce answers to all my questions, but we did succeed in dealing a blow to the cult by destroying the Fabricator Sensor's machine. I have directed my spies to track the sect's surviving leaders. I am certain that they will have useful information for us soon. Though small, this is a victory for the Golden Throne, and I have you to thank for it.
So now I can be rid of you.
Are you so certain that the cult has not spread its roots elsewhere in your domain? I fear I will have to remain a while longer, rogue trader. Besides, I am in your retinue not solely for the sake of my own mission, but also to serve as an advisor sympathetic to your endeavors. I am under orders, I remind you, to provide escort and support in deeds great and small that serve to safeguard the territories of the Imperium against its enemies.
I think that'll be all for now.
Thank you for finding the time for our conversation.
We've talked about all this before with him. I'm sure we have. Okay. Talk to Kibella, all the way up here. That keeps getting pushed further and further back. I talk to her as well, see if she's got anything new. No, that's ritual greed, and just cut yourself.
Take heed, Nemo. Our blessed Domin honors us with a visit. The one who delivered this ark from the curse of your existence.
The malformed skull in Kibella's hand has been polished to a pale sheen. Its empty eye sockets pose a question that can only be answered in death. That was Nemo. What's the person we just killed? Here is Nemo.
An aberration. Your former foe. His eternal foe. My new companion in shadow and my trophy. You once knew him by the name Nemesite, but now his name is Nemo.
Why am I thinking of Shakespeare? Alas, poor Yorick. I knew him, Horatio. Kibella holds up the skull to your face.
Whenever I feel the need to voice my thoughts, I turn to him. He is far wiser in death than when he was alive.
What did you wish to discuss?
For years, I have been honing my body and spirit through sacred rituals. I have ushered hundreds of souls to the other side. The hunt for Nemesite was not my first. Yet, after my enemy fell, for the first time ever, I felt empty. And that emptiness only grew heavier under the weight of the question that formed in my mind during that hunt.
Wonder if that was when we had those 3 options to give her an episode or 2 ago.
I prayed. I longed for his guidance to put my mind at rest. But in my self-pity, I showed weakness in the eyes of the Undying One. And so, my only answer was silence. I must therefore ask you this agonizing question, Domin. Tell me, what is the purpose of the blood-spun web?
Does this have anything to do with our earlier conversation about your resemblance to Nemesite?
Please, just answer me.
You're the scourge of renegades, you deliver his vengeance in the name of the righteous. You serve the Undying Emperor, you also serve his faithful, you're the givers of his peace. You're my servants, my weapons, you serve the dynasty. All you are is a sect of the deadliest, most terrifying zealots on the ship. I cannot be the judge of that. Oh. What is the purpose of the blood-spun web? You serve the Undying Emperor, but you also serve his faithful. You are the givers of his peace.
Then that makes me a driver of the ignorant. One who guides people into following an idea they may never hope to comprehend.
Yep, just like the rest of the Imperium.
All my life, I have walked the road that was prescribed for me. I did as I was told. I searched for the truth in other people's words, then repeated them in my own voice. And I never once questioned my destiny, until you came along, Nemo.
The way Cabela drags her metal claws across the skull in her hands seems almost affectionate.
I might just as easily have met Nemesite's fate, and he mine. All it would have taken is a different pattern of threads. The only distinction lies in our ideas. Thank you for this conversation, Domin. It has satiated the void that gnaws at my soul, if only for a time. As for how to seal this chasm for good, that I have yet to find out. May the tenets of the web guide me to the truth.
She's having some problems. Okay. Heretic stands out from her surroundings like a Janusian jungle tree in a garden of manicured topiary. Unsettling beauty and alluring otherness in her posture, her gestures, her piercing stare radiate from the Eldari. I've been mulling over our conversation. I can understand why you do not like people. But I think there's something else, something I cannot understand.
What do I see? Your words ring with the desire to know the soul of another. But will you be able to comprehend my answer?
She gives you a thoughtful look.
You and I, Elantak, look at this world in very different ways. And I see many more facets, and deeper meanings, and brighter colors in it. But to capture the full truth of this world in the miserly language familiar to your ears will take time. I will come to you with an answer later.
Strange and blasphemous things started to happen during the first warp voyage with you on board. The crew are whispering that you may be the reason. Is this true?
The minions of She Who Thirsts could sense my soul behind the thick walls and thin veil that separate your fragile lives from the roiling fury outside. A child of Asurian that dared to wander beyond the veil, within the reach of an outstretched claw, protected only by the barrier of unreliable monkey technology. It is too tempting a quarry for the monsters that serve Cylon Thresh. Our ships never venture beyond the veil, and I never traveled the way you do, monkey. Elantak, I admit this was a novel experience. I lost composure, let dismay into my heart, and almost strayed from the path. This moment of hesitation drew the attention of she who thirsts. But I summoned my will and used the knowledge of meditation to achieve balance, and hide my soul behind an impenetrable wall of resolve. Future journeys beyond the Veil will still be difficult, but I will steel my heart and not let the hounds of Cylon Thresh pick up my scent ever again.
Footfall was abuzz with rumours about Xenos ravaging the sector. Do you think it could be your kin from Kudarak?
Is that snake venom seeping from your lips? We, the children of Azurian, are no strangers to the art of war. We are not raiders, or butchers, or least of all, fools. When a craft world is beset by calamity, its inhabitants do not start a war with every monkey in the sector. If you are looking for enemies, look for them elsewhere.
What happened to your homeworld?
It is a mystery as inscrutable as the sigh of the last immortal, as deep as the waters of a dark ocean. And I can tell you little, for I was far away, on a mission with my unit. We returned at the appointed hour, but we did not find Kruderak in its celestial harbor. It happened many journeys ago, or standard years, as you say. But I remember that moment as if it happened this very day. The memory of a loss is always stronger than the memory of a gain, especially when you lose something as significant as a home, or an entire world. We searched, we called out, we looked everywhere, but we saw only emptiness and the echo of calamity. Countless days passed before I found myself on the Lilithon and met some of my kin. Those refugees who had barely managed to reach our ancestral planet. Their stories were far from being the fruit of truth I so badly craved. Those who agreed to talk to me were few, for most saw me as a wayward daughter who had spurned the honorable paths. And they would not stop babbling about the terrible disease that spread black tendrils of pain over the paths of the Infinity Circuit and deadened our world one segment after another. The ones who survived fled in fear and wandered between the stars until the Lilithon's warm light reached out to some of them. Some, like Muaran, lay the blame entirely on Monkey. However, I do not know the truth, but I hope, I desperately hope and pray to the gods that someday it will be revealed to me.
That and that. She's going to say her too. If I remember rightly from the last time I played it, she gets in a right huff about it. Thinks one to steal the technology and that's too personal. What was your world like before it fell?
Kruderak cannot be described in your language. It can only be sung, encased in a filigree of sounds, a melody as complex and delicate as the Infinity Circuit, its energy network. It can be seen in the golden hues of sunlight, felt in the breath of celestial winds. Though it was an artificial world, it was just as alive as any real planet. But I must see clearly, not only light, but also shadows. I yearn to remember only Kruderak's beauty, but it had a dark side too. My world was isolated for too long. Like a lake of stagnant water, there was no movement or renewal, and even the sweetest outbursts of life soon turned fetid. Who knows? Who knows? Had there been no stagnation, had our elders not been so blind in their dogmatism and our youths not lacking in courage, then perhaps Kruderak would still be alive even now? As you wish, Elantar.
That's enough for now. Otherwise I'll be here for another hour. Anything from you, Adira? Should be after we've done Kiava Gamma. Give me an augury.
All right, let's hear what they're whispering about you.
I'm sorry, Lord Captain. The voices are going wild. I can't make out a thing. I'll try to rein them in somehow, but for now...
Wow.
Of course.
I thought there would be something. Okay. So we got to get your thing for Jai. Oh, we got that cogitators over here. The tech priest by the cogitator nods curtly. The second mechanism awake and ready to receive your quest, Lord Captain. Hand the Dargonus databank to the tech priest. Access the data from Dargonus. With reverent trepidation, the tech priest accepts the device from your hands and places it inside one of the drives, all the while honouring the machine with modulated by Navic prayer. The turbines within the cogitator stir into motion and the vid screen lights up. Input pack.comp. Nomos stab true. Stat check in it. Nomos ump epitaph status initiated. Dat reg, then a number. Tech priest extracts the data state from the cogitator and gives it to you. Machine spirit has revealed the contents of the encrypted data, and I hereby pass it to you. This is where I've reached the limits of my authorization, but you have the option to view the data decrypted personally. Okay. And hand the Kiava Gamma databank. And incident status initiated. And a different date, or different data reg, or date reg. Previous one was epitaph. This one's just called incident. The great mechanism has transformed the secret data into a format that you can comprehend without the assistance of the servant of the Omnisire. The tech priest retrieves the data slate from the heart of the cogitator, hold it to you with both hands, passes it to you. The databank decryption procedure has been completed without complication. The tech priest stops short, the green lighted visor fixed on the cogitator's mid-screens flicker nervously. Got preliminary report as well. Strings of numerical code begin appearing with frightening speed. This time the numbers are interspersed with words you can understand. Those words from legible sentences. Nomos true. Epitaph brought her to the beginning. Analysis status initiated. Epitaph begot the incident that which destroyed and changed everything. The incident became the starting point. The incident breathed life and marked the beginning of all. It marked the beginning of Nomos. It created Nomos. The tech priest, now alarmed, is tapping the keys on the control panel. His dynamic prayer gives way to distressed whispering. Unacceptable deviation, violation of the sacred protocols, possibility of tech heresy. Omnisire, shield us all from heresy. 3 minutes later, the vid screens darken and flicker to life again. Input prompt, Nomos, algorithm 52136. What was that just now? The imperfections of the Vox transmissions make the tech priest's voice sound even more worried. A catastrophic mistake, a heinous violation of the purity of the hallowed code. This mechanism is touched by heresy. It is branded and tainted by it. Now the machine spirit produces code as before, and yet, Lord Captain, heed my plea. All operations of this machine must be halted until the NGC Prime has inspected it. I saw a word among the lines of code. Nomos, what does it mean? That's a mystery to me. If this mechanism truly is tainted, then could it be? The tech priest mechadendrite jitters anxiously over the control panel. If heresy truly has taken hold of this machine spirit and scorned the Omnisire's every tenet, then the spirit's madness could be such that it's chosen a name for itself. That's nothing more than my hypothesis. You will report this to Pascal. The tech priest bows guiltily, and his mechanical voice becomes hollow and dejected. My knowledge is insufficient to cleanse the code of this mechanism. I will inform the esteemed Engineer Prime of this disturbing development. Only he has the power to expel the heresy from this corrupted machine spirit. Okay, let's read those things. We got 3 things, didn't we? Okay. We got 3 things. I thought. Data deleted, entry damaged. Trader like a lackey. It is humiliating and dispiriting to put up the part of the errand servant to an imperious madman vested with even greater power than any rogue trader. Alas, one side of the scales holds my pride, the other the fate of the Von Blanche's protectorate to my entire bloodline. Choice becomes a futile illusion. With far too naive of me to not prepare for the worst, Epitaph will decide the future of the Expanse as a whole. But I have some time at my disposal until then. Here's where the Von Valance's blood in them will soon be located and brought to me. I cannot afford to delay the choice of successor any longer. Talking about Inquisitor General, whatever his name is. Kallax von thingy. No, Kallax is Heinrichs. Can't remember what the head Inquisitor's called. So where's the other one gone? Preliminary report. Subject. Active samples of the terrible disease. Assigned name Tech Blight. Effect. The Tech Blight is capable of corroding matter and destroying it within terrifying speed. This deadly plague affects mechanisms as well as any metals and other materials used as their basis. No technology known to the Crimson Priesthood, nor the gifts from the great Omnissiah, nor heretical products of Xenos can withstand this onslaught. The disease poisons and warps the very essence and taints the code of sacred mechanisms. Observations. The Tech Blight triggers an effect that is repulsive at its core. It transforms metal into horrific forms of an unpredictable nature. During testing, it demonstrated the ability to fuse solid matter with organic objects, creating something new as a result. The phenomenon was assigned the name Tech Splicing. Method of transportation. Ceramic capsules. Burnt clay is the only thing that contain the pestilence. Extra caution must be taken given the container's fragility. Any damage might result in an uncontrolled outbreak. Damaging the containers is unacceptable. Current stage. Test to subjugate the Tech Blight to his will and turn it into a weapon subject to the Omnissiah's wisdom. Test result assessment success. Note. The test triggered an event recorded under the name Incident N872-04. The quest for knowledge in his name will continue. Hypothesis 1. The Tech Blight was created in the darkness of unknown worlds, away from the eye of the great creator. Hypothesis 2. Any taint that exists to harm the machine god's creations can and will be bent to his will. So, where did the other one go? I picked up. Is it categorized wrong? Preliminary report. Personal notes. So we got personal notes. Yes. Then That one was just read out. I thought I got something else. No? Am I going mad? Yeah, I'm going mad. Okay. I'm losing it. So something about a tech blight. Epitaph and an incident. Does seem to fit in with what happened with Erliot and the Kudarak, her planet.
The Omnissiah knows all, comprehends all.
Strange messages have been appearing in the ship's log. What do you know about this, Ever?
This statement is true. Algorithmic violations have been recorded, as a result of which I twice performed an offering to the cogitators of corrected data vows and ruled out the possibility of sabotage. I hypothesize that the violation is a consequence of the discontent of the ship's machine spirits. I recommend a procedure of placation of the honored spirits for the glory of the Omnissiah and the steel angels sent by him.
Have you studied Dementor's neural augmetic yet?
I have destroyed it.
He stares at you inscrutably and says in a soft voice, failed the perception test. 75%, I rolled 95. Pascal's steadfastness in his vows has presumably won out of his curiosity. Want to know the truth about you?
The request is approved. I did conceal certain information. I was a student of Archmagos Amanat, but I committed an act of betrayal after he deviated from sacred dogma.
The Mechadendrites coil around the tech priest's chest and shoulders as if trying to protect him. What did Amanat do?
He fell into schism and challenged the sacred boundaries of knowledge. The blessed Amanat claimed the limits of what is permitted must be expanded, because by refusing to explore certain law, we find ourselves in contempt of the seventh universal law. Comprehension is the key to all things. My mentor put forth a thesis claiming that we have stagnated, that ritual is now nothing but a cage for souls and false worship of the Omnissiah. He sought to break the cycle of mindless repetition because he saw the inevitable demise of our faith and all humanity at the end of it.
Certain aspects of the Imperium have indeed ossified. His argument sounds reasonable.
This statement is false. My mentor's words sound like heresy. Limits were established because it is dangerous to venture beyond. Each step past them could lead to a bloody slaughter, but the blessed Amanat was not afraid.
How did you betray Amanat?
The teachings of the blessed Amanat spread, and word of it reached the conclave of the Cognizance fleet. They recognized his teachings as tech heresy. Many tech priests suddenly vanished or were subjected to servo penance for minor transgressions. The students of Amanat, whose number included many enlightened and respected tech priests, resisted. My prognosis showed that our most likely future was a schism and a fratricidal war that would destroy the Cognizance fleet. That was when I headed to the Conclave. I confessed and handed the information about my mentor's research over to the Conclave. Brazen anthematic studies of the Forbidden Law. The Conclave could use that data to summon Archmagos Amanat to stand trial and compel him to repent on pain of excommunicate traitoris. His subsequent fate is unknown to me.
You acted as a loyal son of the Imperium should, because the rest of them is kind of mere.
I pray that the Omnicide grants us wisdom to overcome the dialectic differences that divide us.
The Vox system emits a painful crunch like the sound of a snapping bone. So why did you go to Rykad Minoris?
I was summoned there by a message that was encrypted with the Blessed Amanat's personal code, and could be interpreted in several ways. One thing was certain. We were in danger, and I had to go to Rykad Minoris.
The tech priest named Abel. Who is he?
Assessing his personality is difficult. The spirit of Brother Abel is different from that of most people. Tech comrades of the Cog call such persons quiet ones. He possesses significant intellect, but shuns communication. So far, I have not been able to determine why Abel summoned me to Rykad Minoris, how he is related to the Blessed Amanat, or why he bears the same name as me. Perhaps the Reverend Abel cannot fully actualize and interpret the available data.
What are you going to do next?
I was wrong when I assumed it was the Blessed Archmagos Amanat who assumed the guise of Abel Haneman. But there is a connection between him and the Reverend Abel, and I intend to uncover the nature of this link. Acknowledged. I will return to ruminating on the search for the Blessed Amanat. May your labors...
Okay, anything now about...
Messiah knows all.
Nope.
May your
Nothing new there to talk about. I thought he might be talking about the cogitator yet, but there it is. But not yet. Do I have to talk to Cassia or Genta? I don't think so. Letard Furioris. Who the hell is that? Letard Furious. A man of indeterminate age bows his head. His robes are spotless. His rigid collar constricts his throat. The uncertain smell of medicine hangs in the air. The pale man's eyes look bleached. Greetings, your lordship. Your Chirurgeon Majorius is at your service. Tell me about your responsibilities. My job's to save lives, heal wounded officers, develop vaccines for onboard epidemics, discover new methods of healing. However, I spend most watches listening to patients about their many qualms, managing the junior Medicaid officers, and dividing the afflicted into those who matter and those who do not. A rather irritating addition to my duties as Chirurgeon Majoris. Didn't we meet him? And we told him he could juice people up. Oh, it was a long time ago now. For whatever he wanted. I think it was one of the lower deck ones, maybe. Not the most compassionate of healers, are you? Compassion has nothing to do with the healer's trade. I prefer conversing with diseases rather than the carriers. Patients are aggravating. What sort of new methods? There are many. I'm ever in search of solutions to dangerous afflictions. My latest work involves studying a particularly lethal disease that devours the person's flesh and skin. It's already claimed 12 lives, but the deaths were not in vain. I've learned much about the enemy, and the vaccine will soon be ready for testing. I see. I hope I've satisfied your curiosity. How did you come to serve on my flagship? I was the master healer in the world that belonged to Korda dynasty. I had managed to cure someone who was considered doomed, not because of their illness, but because of a certain self-important priest had tried to cure them when the prayer failed. after I put him to shame, he started spreading rumours that I owed my skill to the influence of the ruinous powers. I sought refuge under Lady Theodora, who expressed an appreciation for my talents and welcomed me and my family on a ship. The customs of Corda works so truly so uncompromising and blind to reason. Teach a man to read, you raise a bright heretic, I believe was one of the favourite local sayings. As for demonstrating the superiority of knowledge over the device of holy ecclesiarchs, well, that kind of defiance was sure to put my life at risk. Naturally, House Corda still has need of people like me, educated and capable of intellectual thought. However, anyone who is permitted to learn does so under strict supervision. I have heard Lady Incentia's ship has a dedicated compartment for sages and keepers of knowledge that more resembles a prison than a librarium. It's rather careless of you to get involved in that case. I would not have become a chirurgeon if I was afraid of death. It's an unavoidable side effect of my profession. How's the crew's health? Are you interested in general report on the ship as a whole, or in hearing about how your immediate subordinates are faring? Give me a general report. There's been an outbreak of a highly contagious disease in Bay LDA-14, but the complaints from the workers there have been few. Despite the many pathologies, people continue working without interruptions. Curious case, which I will study thoroughly. The senior officers, what kind of complaints do they have? The Master Houseman headaches caused by his faulty implants. The high factotum's occasional indigestion. The Master at Arms has combat wounds that can hardly be considered life-threatening. Furious folds of finger dismissively for every officer he mentions. Rapid cases that I'm obligated to manage as Chirurgeon Majoris. At least the Infernus Master does not waste my time and simply comes to pick up ointments for his burns. Okay, that reminds me. Let's talk to Denlock after he got knifed. And see if I can do any trading. Have you recovered from Nemesite's attack yet? You came very close to death in the chapel. Janus puts a hand on his chest right where the gruesome wound used to be. The chirurgeon spent hours fighting for my life, and I have to say, they are earning their keep. They promised to leave a heroic looking scar, although admittedly I much prefer calluses from an autoquill. Okay. See what we can trade. Not much. Got 46, so we can get another. Oh, we don't want that, but I can just sell it though. Need high profit factor for the rest. Sympathizeship with the Void here. Awakened Nightmare. Oh yes, they added loads of force swords. In the recent patch. That Grimoire of the Void, almost there. That is perfect for Idera. What's this? Once per turn, after the wearer uses Blood Oath or Oath of Vengeance, they gain +1 use of Dash, costing 0 AP until the end of the turn. That's pretty good. Again, there's extra like 3 or 4, was it up to 6 squares of movement? Nice. Inilith, whatever the hell that is. Obviously Eldawi weaponry. Dodge reduction against Drukhari and Eldawi is increased by +40. Yeah. Well, yes. It will be useful in the next chapter. Okay, so I do want stuff there. Nothing here yet. A hex rifle, maybe? Does toxin. Attacked by the staff is power level 9. Torment braces. We already have one of those. Don't know where we picked it up from though. Where did we get it from? Doesn't say where we picked it up. Fusion gun, is that new? Melter with a range of 8. Warp guide stuff, we want that one. Fusing 9. Bladedancer's mantle. That's 12 mental damage. Jesus. And that's pretty good as well. That, obviously. The first round of combat. That's pretty good as well for a Dero. You can probably wipe everything out in the first round. Not quite. Not quite getting there. Explorators. Will to live. It's a 4-sword. Okay. Get one of those. Heavy plasma gun. Might be good for Pascal. We've got a load of them already, I think. It's not a bad sniper rifle if I remember. Doesn't have much armor pen though. The wielder gains a 30% chance to gain one more attack after a kill. Okay. And what were the Drusians got? Heavy flamer. One day I will have to do a dogmatic run. Maybe with the same kind of build for fire damage, because one of the early, I think it's dogmatic rank 2, is every crit any one of your people do causes burning. And that with the pyromancer stuff is just insane. And get Argento on the flamer. Silent death. Whenever the wearer suffers a trauma in combat, they immediately gain 26 wounds. Okay, it's Bladedancer stuff. Executioner's gauntlets. Increase the critical damage of where it hurts, including the damage from the attack itself, and extra instances of damage over time by 21. Oh, nice. Whenever the wearer kills the enemy with blade dance, other enemies adjacent to the wearer become staggered. Okay. So blade dance is that one you attack 3 or 4 times. And with that one you can then stagger the people around it if they don't die. Do you want anything I've got? Yeah, go on then. Heavy flamer. Silent death. Plus 10% dodge if not in cover, and strength bonus wounds, or 10% dodge if the weapon skill is more than 55. And heal. have a look at this Force Sword stuff. Bloody Pact, Fractal Blade. No. There we go. I've got the Ancient Force Sword at the moment. This one is inferior to the Bio Dagger. So add that to cargo. The Will to Live. Enemies adjacent to the wielder have their toughness reduced by 2. The wielder gains +2 toughness, which suggests enemy. It does +2 damage because I've only got a side ranking of 2. That'll go up to 4. Most wounds will be able to 10% parry. So this is less damage than the Ancient Force Sword. I might give it to you then. Yeah, it's better than that one. Yeah, it's cargo. Pascal. Delphin pattern. Oh, you got the Heretic one. Uses Brutal Strike for attacks of opportunity. A Brutal Strike is that one. That's got to kill 2 of my own people. Interesting though. But no. These 4 staffs. Silent Verdict, again that's a 2-handed sword. Which is what Kibella started with, I think. Where's the other things I've just picked up? Well, I thought I picked up a Force Sword. Again, 2 of them. Or was it just 1 and 1 to be decided? I don't think that's as good as the last guns I've got. No, it's not. Although, who has sniper stuff? You've got 1. The Rebel sniper rifle is better. He's got the Inferno pistol. You've got a Mazoa pattern plasma. Add to cargo. Heavy flamer, add to cargo. Let's go to Kibella. What swords can you have? You got the 16 to 18, 35%. The Deathcoat Power Blade has more armor pen than this one. So I'll put that one away. Put them away. How about these pistols are picked up off the naughty boy? We've got these shurikens, which are high rate of fire, or the single shot plasmas. The shurikens are better. Yeah, longer range, more damage, better penetration. This one, rate of fire 3, that's 24 to 36. It's way less damage. The range is about the same, everything about the same. Plus ballistic skill, direct damage to the target with each stack of fatigued. Oh, that's right, it's duplicates with the thing that causes fatigue, isn't it, this one? So that's 20 to 40, 20 to 40, 32. So yeah, if you wear these two, causes fatigue and then does 7 extra damage, that's not bad actually. It's got a fella toughness. Would it be worth it to add fatigued and then do the extra damage with the follow-up? Ranger 6. I could try it out, I guess. Give it a go for a bit. I still got that blast pistol. They got nerfed recently. What else did I pick up? Anything? Silent Death, that's correct. This is just better. I've got 135 or 140. Now Cabela. 150. 150. Toughness or bonus strength bonus wounds. Strength bonus wounds, I think. Because the strength and toughness buffs from Adira and from me and from Heinrichs. And you won't be in cover much. Yeah, add cargo for that one. Oh, this ring. Flame a ring. Don't really have a chance for it. Do I diagnose or blood drinker? Regain 1 wound. Six range burning 4. I could try again. It's a free attack. No, use up my actions. I thought it was a free attack. What? Anyway, that's all. I've been waffling and staring at things for too long. Thanks for watching, everyone. Next episode will probably land around this planet now, after you've done all that. And I'll see you then. Bye for now.